game of hide.
Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're coming for the first time, I just want to welcome you in this place, and I hope you decide to stay. If you are returning, guys, thank you so much for your loyalty. I really appreciate you. And I just want to also welcome the new subscribers. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you also really decide to stay, and I hope you enjoy the content that I share. Guys, if you are not subscribed, can I just say this? We are on a road to 1,000 subscribers, and only you can help me. I know you can. So just click that button there and then subscribe. Doesn't take much. It is very much free, so you're not paying anything. So I just want you to actually click that button right now and then subscribe. Let's hit that 1,000. That's like my target for now, to reach that 1,000 subscribers. Without wasting time, today I just wanna talk accommodation. We are talking accommodation, everything. And best believe, guys, I have actually stayed in any sort of accommodation you can think of. So you talking hostels, backpacking, where we're sharing the dorms, is like a bed on top of another one, like literally everything. I have stayed in an Airbnb, stayed in a 5-star hotel, 3-star, whatever you want to think of. I've done Couchsurfing, so any sort of accommodation you can think of in this place, tell me. I probably have done it. So basically today's video is really just about me sharing the tools I use for booking my accommodations. I think with accommodations, for me, it's based on why I'm traveling. Sometimes when I'm traveling for literally like luxury, or just resting, or just really exploring the place. So in most cases when I travel, it's really exploring. So I just want to go to a place and then see how it's like there, and I know I'm not going to be spending my time in the accommodation in that kind of like travel. Also, another thing is the fact that I'm almost always on budget. I'm such a cheapskate, like cheap traveler, who actually just always is on a budget. So that means that I would want to go for cheaper options always. So you are talking like closer to not paying anything at all, to literally just maybe paying half of what you would basically pay for. So this is the kind of video that you can look forward to. And one thing again, when it comes to this video, everything that I'm going to be sharing is pretty basic. So if you are very much knowledgeable when it comes to bookings and other things, this might not be for you, but stick around. Maybe there's something that you might learn. So yeah, there's something that you will learn. Anyway, let's get straight to it. Sharing accommodations and tools. I have 4 tools, or rather 4 platforms that I use. I think there is more, but like right now I'm just gonna share 4 of them that I use for booking accommodations. So number 1 is booking accommodation through Airbnb. So what is Airbnb? Airbnb is a website where travelers can book apartments, can book rooms, can book beds, or rather just like a full apartment in people's homes. And every apartment that is posted or listed on the website is posted by a host who is interested in sharing their space with whoever the traveler is or whoever the visitors is. This is like an amazing experience for people who actually would want to understand and know as much of the locals, and understand, or rather have like that kind of like an overview of the local experience, from food, from the locations and best places to visit, because you are talking to people. So one thing that I normally say as far as traveling for me is that I generally love actually not planning much, because then I kind of create a room for having to have some local experience where I ask the locals, where do I go? Where do I go for this kind of experience? Where do I eat? Where do the locals eat? And that way you get to really have like a full exposure and understanding of certain places like that. Unless if you just want to go in a villa and you're having like a great time and you don't really care about talking to the locals, you just like really unwinding. Whatever your reasons are, Airbnb is not for everyone, but for a lot of people, I've seen it work. It works for me based on where I am and what I want to do at a certain time. So yeah, all the best with your Airbnb booking next. The second one is Hostelworld. So Hostelworld is one of those platforms that you use when you are traveling on budget, at least for me. So for me, when I'm traveling on budget, I generally go for like hostels versus sometimes the Airbnbs are quite higher, although it differs. So like with Hostelworld, you get like backpacking. I've backpacked almost in a lot of places. When I did my continental tour, in most cases I was like backpacking, and that meant that I was either sharing accommodation, or I had like a private room, or I actually just was in a space where there is just a lot of people who are actually within the space. It's either you're sharing a kitchen or you're sharing something. There's like some element of sharing in it, because it's hostels. That's how they are. So this for me is sort of really amazing when you are actually trying to integrate with different cultures, because in hostels you find different, or rather like a very much of a diverse culture, where I think in most nights for me, you would have like 8 countries present in one table, and we are like really just sharing experiences of where we come from and where we've been and all those things. So it's really like such a beautiful exchange of people who are actually like-minded and really would want to share their spaces, but they also don't want to break a bank, because that's not the point. The point is I want to get to a certain place and I want to be able to explore. So for me, hostels have worked on that level, or rather backpacking has worked on that way. So the platform that you want to check is Hostelworld. They are amazing. They have cheaper prices there, and it's good for you. I mean, it's good that you actually have a bed on top of another one, on top of another one, and there's people next to you and all those kind of things, right? Maybe not for you, but it is for me. It works for me. So yeah, that is more like it for me. The third one is Trivago. So Trivago is when you want that bread and breakfast experience, hotel experience, you go to Trivago. Trivago will actually select different. So let's say maybe you want to go to Bora Bora. Bora Bora would actually say, hey, I am going to Bora Bora, and it will list for you all the Bora Bora cheapest options, so you can filter it according to your needs, and then they compare from like different platforms, so like your booking.com, Hotelsworld, and also like what's this justhotels.com and all those places. And what it will do is bring to you different options for travel, or rather for accommodation, and that way you can book however you want and however you would like your accommodation to be. So I have used Trivago in most cases as well, and I've seen it to work. I think also like I just tend to book with booking.com because I'm trusting of booking.com and all those places. Anyway, it really doesn't matter. Like all the platforms that are in Trivago should be trusted platforms. So Trivago is one of the platforms that you can use for your bookings when you are traveling. And the last one is my favorite. So last one is Couchsurfing. What is Couchsurfing? Couchsurfing is, you could call it a social network for travelers, where travelers can connect and open themselves to either hosting or be hosted by the locals. And how this works is, I'll give an example. I have done Couchsurfing before when I went to Tanzania. That's how I met Maria Teresa. Shout out, sis, if you are watching this. So I met Maria Teresa through Couchsurfing. And how this happened is that I woke up, I was in Zambia, and I was supposed to go to Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. So when I was doing my continental tour, I went to Zimbabwe, I went to Zambia, I went to Tanzania, and I went to Kenya and Ethiopia. Somehow, I had booked accommodations in advance for all these places, but I realized along the way that I hadn't booked accommodation for Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. And this is like in the morning of my travel when I was in Zambia. I don't remember if it was in the morning or the evening. I just realized that, oh my gosh, I haven't booked my accommodation. Well, this was the time for me to actually now try and test Couchsurfing and see if it works. So I reached out on people. So I went on the list of people who were actually hosting. One thing that I didn't want is to go to host tour guides because I felt maybe it wouldn't be safe for me. So what I did was like look for ladies and was like, hey, can I please be hosted by like in your home? Maria Teresa was like, yay sis, come through. So I went to her home. She hosted me for a night. It was a beautiful experience. I have beautiful memories of Dar es Salaam, and it's because she hosted me and showed me everything I needed to see. Even though I had like limited time, I got to see almost everything that I needed to see as far as Couchsurfing is concerned. Maria Teresa also at some point came to South Africa. Well, we didn't really use the platform, but then she actually got to like spend the night at home in my place and I hosted her. We did go out and all those things. I did get to share bits and pieces of like the South Africa that I know, you know. So like that is how Couchsurfing works. And I've used Couchsurfing even if it's not being hosted in like people's homes. When I get to a place, I'll just be like, hey, I am in the area, who wants to hang out? And that way you get to meet a whole lot of locals who are actually like-minded, who are also like in a position to share their space, share their experience, share who they are and all those things. You want to be careful though, because like with every kind of like beautiful experiences or beautiful platforms that I created, there are chances we actually just want to take advantage of platforms and do something that is crazy. So you really want to be careful. I have never really had like a crazy experience except for like when I was in Turkey. I went online and the guys were like on some, hey, I wanna like come through, like, you know, it was like the craziest thing because like it went like a lots of messages of people saying, hey, let's meet up. Hey, this is like one guy even told me that I don't have to meet up with other guys because I then created a group so that we can actually meet up in a central place with everybody. And he's like, yeah, sure. If you wanna actually meet up, you can like cancel everybody. It can just be me and you. I'm like, brothers, nope. I'm not doing that. Definitely not doing that. So you want to be careful on that end to say, hey, I am going to do Couchsurfing, but in a very much of a safe manner. Talking about Turkey as well, like when I was in Turkey, the guy who actually showed me around on the day that I was like there was actually someone I met on Couchsurfing. So it's a beautiful platform that you want to use when you are traveling for accommodation purposes. Just be safe when you do it. So guys, those are like my 4 platforms that I would advise that you take note of or you use when you are booking your next accommodation. And I really hope that your travel would be as beautiful and that you'll be able to experience even like your accommodation will be like really just a beautiful experience for you. And I think also just to add on that, just like 2 tips or rather 3 tips that I can give you when you are booking accommodation, just expanding from the platforms itself. Make sure that you check the ratings. I think the ratings never lie. I always, when I book accommodation, I always read ratings. People's ratings will tell you the shitty experience, the amazing experience they got from either the staff or the place itself and how something was non-functional and not working and all those things. All the ratings will tell you all those things. If a place is, if like a host or whoever comes and tell you that, oh, this is what we're offering you, they have like beautiful pictures and everything, and then you check the rating, someone is like, what a lie. You know it's a lie. You can trust those. I really always check ratings, and I think you should too for your next booking. The second tip I can give you to take note of expanding from accommodation is I would advise that you book something or an accommodation that is a bit outside the city center. But I think with this one, so the reason why you want to book this is because it tends to be cheaper. Again, we're coming back to me being a budget traveler. So yeah, you want to book something that is a bit outside. The reason for that is that you generally will find that the price is a bit lower. But again, when you're doing this, you want to be able to check that this place is also still accessible to the city center. Can I walk there? Is the transport accessible? Because you can book something that is cheaper and you find that transport is still like really hard for you to actually access. So check all those information and then make sure that you are not breaking the bank, but also you are not inconvenienced in the process. So yeah, that's more like it. So the very last one that you want to look at is booking on the last minute. So contrary to booking flights, accommodations tend to be cheaper when you are booking on the last minute. I don't know, I think it's more of like maybe hotels trying to make sure that the rooms are used, and they actually like just make them cheaper that way. So you find that when you checked for accommodation 6 weeks before, it was like 1,000 rands or something of that nature, 1.5. And then when you are like, when the days are approaching, because the hotel is trying to make sure that the room, like the day doesn't go by without the room being used, they like take the price down and like make sure that it's like really like used up space. So and you checking that, you find that now it's like 1.2. A night before your travel, you find that well, the price is even cheaper. So this is risky for someone who's actually like such a planner and like is crazy about the whole idea of like just wanting to make sure that we are safe and everything. And I imagine that for group travels as well, this might not work. But I always travel solo, so for me, I have like booked an accommodation the day that I'm traveling. I have booked the night before I'm traveling, and it tends to be like really, really cheap. So you want to try that as well and make sure that you are not breaking, like I keep saying that you're not breaking a bank, and I really, really mean it. I don't want anyone to break a bank. I don't want to break a bank myself. I want to be able to travel, and I want also to like, I want everyone to understand that for you to travel, you don't have to like really, like travel doesn't have to be super expensive. You can get to travel cheaply, and this is what this platform is about, for you to be in a position where you understand that travel is not that expensive like we make it to be. So guys, thank you so much for watching till the end. I really, really appreciate you. I really appreciate you being in the platform. Again, if you are not subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and let's grow the family. Let's grow. Help me grow. Cheers.